Hey everyone, it's Thursday. It's time for Crash and Burn. Welcome to the show. I'm Mike. I am your host, and with me is my usual group of suspects here. Andy, how are you tonight?
I'm here.
You are.
I'm here. I wasn't here last time. I fucked up last time.
We didn't have a show last time.
I know, because I wasn't here. Well, not
Right.
just because of me,
Yeah.
but
Part of that, and I was sick.
sucked. So we're all here. Woohoo!
Erica, how are you tonight?
I have a migraine.
Yeah?
Yeah, sucks.
Yeah, they suck. Len and Glia, how are you guys tonight?
I'm good.
I'm good.
Really?
Yeah.
Turn
Just
this
really
off.
extra here.
There we go. Cool. Well, last week's we didn't have a show, so 2 weeks ago we did all kinds of fun stuff in between. We'll get to a bunch of that here. Once again, if you're watching us live, jump over to gunchannels.com/crashandburn and join in the chat room there. It's a good place to communicate with us. Or if you're watching on the Google Plus, you can submit any questions and they'll pop up for us there. I'll keep checking them. Tonight's guest is Mr. Adam Kraut, and welcome to the show, Adam. We'll get to your interview here shortly. Thanks for coming on.
Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. I'm going to take this moment to thank our sponsors for this month. Clean Snatch Soap. You can use the coupon code CRASHNBURN for 15% off. Our other sponsors are Broken Angel Gear. We talked about their product on the last show. And Fox Den Tactical. Check out their sweet paracord rifle slings and other cool stuff they do. So what did we do in between the last show? I know we did a funny game night. Glenn and Leah came over, and we recreated one of those Joe Santagato podcast things. It was quite funny, although I'm pretty good at reading lips, apparently, because it wasn't as funny for me, but Glenn was hilarious.
Glenn was great.
I'm terrible at it.
That was straight up awesome. I don't even remember what the one thing he kept saying was.
Because we can't probably, we shouldn't repeat it. The word was badminton.
Oh, yeah.
It was bad. It was really.
Yeah.
I never got past that. I never forgot.
Signing at a while, he started going like this.
Thumbs?
Like, thumbs? Badminton. Thumbs?
We'll have to do it again and take some video because I think it'll be funny. All of us went out geocaching this past Monday, and it was a good time.
Yeah, we actually found one.
We did.
Yeah, it was awesome.
It was cool. I've never done it before.
Yeah, it was a good time.
I think the boys liked it.
So, what's geocaching? You want to explain it, Mike?
No, you're the pro. Go ahead.
I'm the pro. Geocaching, it's like urban treasure hunting where people hide stuff, usually, hopefully in a waterproof container out somewhere, and they put the GPS coordinates in it, and they put it up on a website, geocaching.com. There's apps for it on phones. You can put the GPS coordinates right into a GPS or use the phone, hit it, and it like directs you pretty close to where it is, and you go out and find treasure. It's great for kids. It's great for finding, like, if you just move to an area or if you're visiting area and you want to like explore. Really great for that. But it was really fun. Thanks for showing up, everybody.
Yeah, thanks for mentioning it. We were.
Can
just gonna go.
we leave some geocaches down on Avenue D, Andy?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Crack
Okay.
caches.
Crack caches. I like that.
Someone has already done that. They just haven't come up with a name for it yet.
That's true.
The best part was the kids running around and every single stick that was crossed on the ground, screaming,
Mark the spot.
"Mark the spot."
Well, we also took a day trip down to New York City this past Sunday. I had to drop off a transmission and pick up some wheels for my car. It was a good time. We went into Times Square. I fixed the power relay, and to walk around a little bit. What else? Anything else happened recently?
We moved the machine.
We moved the Haas. We did, finally. Shoehorned it in there.
We voted.
You voted.
I voted.
I did not get a chance to. I missed it.
I don't want to hear any complaints then from you.
No.
Thanks for being part of the problem, Mike.
Everybody else vote?
Oh, did you guys? You
Not allowed to vote. New York State is stupid.
No, we're registered independent, so we didn't get to vote in the
Oh,
primary.
so you can't vote in the primary.
Right.
That's a legit reason. Mike is registered, so yeah.
Yep.
How about you, Andy? You vote?
I didn't.
What the hell?
Shame on us.
I know, absolutely.
Yeah.
I did, you know, the reason I didn't was because my feet hurt and I didn't want to walk the dog. Isn't that terrible?
This is terrible reason.
It was like 8 o'clock. I'm like, I don't want to walk the dog and go vote because they won't let me bring the dog in, so I just didn't vote. God, that sucks. Stupid.
Can I say though, Glenn actually gunsmith explained the primary system to me. It's all right that I didn't vote. Now that I understand it.
It's no different than your gun club electing its new president. It's a closed system.
Yeah.
Yes,
It
yes.
really
I'm
doesn't
not
matter.
saying that. No,
Yeah.
no. You know what? It does matter. Okay.
No,
it does.
it does matter.
It super duper duper matters.
But all these
Primaries, I don't think matter as much as the general election.
But all these people on the news that get like all
It
up in
matter more.
because they're not allowed, they're not registered to vote in a party. So they can't vote.
Yeah.
You're not a member of the club. Why should you get to vote?
Right.
Right.
But if you registered in a party,
It depends what state too. There's some states that have open primaries.
Yeah, I like that.
Pennsylvania's are closed and they are Tuesday, so I have not voted yet, but I will be. I'm usually the first one in line because the voting place is in the community I live in, so I literally get up, walk over there, beat everyone.
Yeah, I like the open system. The closed system sucks.
Yeah, but the idea is that you're voting for your party that you're affiliated with. Why, why would you want me voting for your party and trying to skew, pick a weaker candidate maybe?
That's what I would do.
Yeah.
Then you miss out voting for your guy. So if everybody's doing the same thing, then everybody's.
Most people aren't happy with their party, I think, right now.
That's
Not
probably true.
Any
not
party.
having my party, but I still went and did it.
Bernie Sanders was in town today down by me.
Really?
Yeah, and Hill Dog was in Philly yesterday.
Wasn't she in the city while we were there?
She was in New York City while we were there.
our SWAT officer had to leave the shop to go do a security sweep for her.
I hope you didn't.
Yeah, Bulger's like, I gotta go because I gotta go do security for Hillary.
Yep.
Super not excited about it.
Well, that's cool. That's pretty much everything we've done. So I'm going to throw it over to you, Erica, for our first news topic of the night.
Oh, good. I hope this will spark some
Good conversation.
good conversation, because I have friends on both sides of the fence of this. So my little news story is about a transgendered teen who won a federal case over bathrooms. We've all heard about, this whole who uses what bathroom, who, no, you can't use this bathroom, everybody should use whatever bathroom, there's family bathrooms, men bathrooms, women bathrooms. A Virginia transgender teen won a battle against his school board for the right to use the boys' bathroom. So this is a pretty big game changer in the whole shebang and everything. I know how I feel about it. I've read a whole bunch of Facebook posts about it lately. What do you guys feel about this? Is it a stupid topic? Is it something that's legit? Mike, stop reading shit that I'm not talking about.
Sorry. Because I think it's ridiculous. We had this discussion earlier, but I still think it's kind of ridiculous that it's even a news topic. You know what I mean? It's not. I could care less. We have so much more important stuff going on, and this is like front page news.
Just asking. It is front page news. There's a lot of people who are upset about it.
Yeah, I think they're stupid.
Okay. Oh. Way to keep that ball rolling, Mike. Thanks.
I mean, it could.
Anybody else have?
What were you gonna say, Leah?
I mean, I think. See, it's hard because, like Mike, I think people who care what gender is using which bathroom is stupid. Who cares?
All these, I tend to agree with you guys, but so some of the arguments are, maybe you're a parent and you're out with if you're a mom, you're out with your son, or a dad, you're out with your daughter, and they need to use the potty, okay? And they go in there and they can't go in there with you, so they have to go in there by themselves. And what if there's somebody that's faking being transgender and they're just in there to look at little kids?
I mean, there aren't locks on bathroom doors.
You know what you do then?
Bathroom.
You beat the shit out of them.
Well, and my comeback with this is I've never had to scan my pussy to walk into a bathroom. To be like, boop, I'm a woman. What's up? Now I can get into the woman's bathroom.
I mean, honestly, I think I've been inside, and not in like a gross way, just in the line was too long kind of way. I've been in not every, but a lot of male bathrooms in a lot of bars.
Every. I went into the Costco girls' room the other day by accident.
I've been in the Home Depot women's room on accident.
I've been into girls' bathrooms by accident also.
Is it just that we don't want to poop or pee with the opposite sex in there, and
Maybe.
people are just making it now more about their kids because that's an actual argument?
I think it's the same argument.
With the whole transgender everything, and if they just need a reasoning for it, they're grasping at straws.
I think it's the same argument where, like, if gays get married, what are people going to marry their dog next? It's the same argument. Who gives a shit if they marry their dog? I mean, that it's not going to happen, but it's the same. If someone goes through the transformation and they're a woman now, they can use the girls' bathroom. I got no problem with that. Having a daughter in a girl's bathroom with a transgender using the same bathroom, no problem.
How are you gonna know? It's funny. I was having this exact conversation with my girlfriend earlier, and she's a lawyer too, and she practices employment discrimination. So a number of clients that her firm gets are, among other things, gay, transgender individuals. And we talked about it, and I have mixed feelings about it, but at the end of the day, this has been going on for years. So why all of a sudden why are we even talking about it? Like, transgender people have been walking in and out of bathrooms for the entire time people have been transgender.
Yeah, just Google hot transgender and take a look at some of these dudes. They're fucking hot.
Oh yeah.
And you
There's
would
Bruce
never
Jenner.
know that they were men and now women in the bathroom. I mean, there's a couple who are really kind of nasty, but a lot of them are really hot.
But let's go back to their argument and the fact that, like, I've never gone into a bathroom thinking I'm gonna check out some dick today. It's like I want to get in there and out of there as fast as possible and try not to rip a loud fart while I'm being at the urn. That's my only goal, getting in and out of there.
Wait.
Well, and didn't they come up with family bathrooms for just the reason of if you're out with, your kid or whatever, and you're like, oh, they're a little too old to be walking in with me, but I still want to be right there. There's family bathrooms. It's literally a door, a one stall.
Not everybody has them though, but there's a lot of places that have them now.
Why is everybody getting raped in the bathroom all of a sudden? There's normally a lot of people in the bathroom, okay? Unless you're going to some seedy bar, which there's been rapes before this ever was even an issue.
The kind of bars Glenn and Leah like to go to.
Yeah, people get pushed in there and sodomized and raped and molested and all that kind of
let's go.
Shit.
No, it's just people thinking up these dreams that people are in there looking at their peepees.
It's razor blades and apples.
Yeah, you're right.
People need to take a moral stance on everything. That's ultimately what it comes down to. There's got to be some kind of moral, not tragedy, but there needs to be some kind of moral dilemma that they have to voice their opinion on, be it abortion, gay marriage, transgenders using bathrooms, marrying your goldfish, whatever the week's flavor is.
I bet you everything's heightened right now because of the election as well. Everything becomes than it really needs to be.
Yeah.
There were more people than usual protesting outside of Planned Parenthood today.
Really?
There was some kind of
Yeah.
protest.
Our vet's office is across the street from Planned Parenthood, and there were a lot of people out there with posters.
I never get to see any good protests. The only one I remember seeing was when they protest the gay pride parade downtown on East Ave. Remember we've seen that?
Oh yeah.
We've gone down to eat on Park Ave or something.
I've worked in a gun shop that was being protested.
That's interesting.
It was about like 7 people.
I want to know about these bathrooms where you have to show your private parts to get in.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like
I
even
mean,
know.
there's definitely places where there's a hole for guys, but I think that's a completely different type of
I
place.
hear there's a local gun shop where you have to show your privates to get into the bathroom or use the coffee machine.
That's probably ours. There's a really creepy dude that sticks his head out the window whenever that happens, like out the internal drive-through window. I was FaceTiming Erica, and all of a sudden, Glenn like shows up right here. I see him in the background. I'm like, that is really creepy.
Yeah, he's in a dark little room standing there. It's the most odd thing ever.
That's funny. But I think Adam hit the nail on the head, though. You know, as people are trying to take a moral standpoint on anything right now. Yeah.
Let people poop and pee.
Right.
There's my standpoint.
Got it.
Go to the bathroom.
Got it.
Build unisex.
So you're pretty upset about Prince, huh?
It's really sad. We lost a shit ton of people this year. Like
This last week?
huge, like big, just life-changing people. Whether it's songs that they've wrote, movies that they've acted in. This is a big one.
Yeah.
Prince is huge. Okay, he was born in the '80s.
Is he still?
Love all of
is he
his
still
songs.
the symbol?
No.
No, he's the name.
He's Prince,
Oh,
Yes.
I liked him when he was the symbol.
the artist formerly known as Prince.
Can you
Right.
name some Prince songs?
1999.
Okay, one.
That's it.
Great.
I graduated in 1999, so that counts.
I don't understand how you don't know. Like,
I'm pretty sure if I heard them, I'd recognize them.
Yeah, Prince is like there's like 10 songs you hear him, you know him, but you
Right.
don't.
really?
Okay, there's 10 songs that me and Mike would hear and recognize them.
Yeah. Wait till we get to rap, Leah. Take that.
Should I just sing Purple Rain? I'll do that.
He didn't know Purple Rain.
I didn't
He
recognize
doesn't know
it.
Raspberry Beret.
Nope.
Cream.
Yeah, maybe.
China also died.
Yes.
I didn't
Also died.
Now we're talking about China, but that's not the song. It's just she also passed.
Yeah. Wasn't she from Rochester, Andy?
Yes, she was from Rochester. She was from the West Side. She was 45 years old. It's terrible. I liked China.
Was it drugs?
It was drugs. There was a video of her like 3 days before she died, and she was just plastered.
I think they talked about that on Rover this morning. It was like a really, really weird video.
That's sad.
Then we lost the Doris Roberts,
Yeah, the old woman from Grandma's Boy.
or played the mom on everybody. Not
Yeah.
the mom, but like
Ma!
mom. Yeah.
She was funny in Grandma's Boy though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That
She was
sucks.
old.
Prince also wrote a lot of songs for like Bangles and Cyndi Lauper and stuff like that too.
Huge '80s
Yeah.
like
Icon.
thick icon. Yeah.
But
Everybody knows.
he died of some kind of natural causes, they're thinking, so.
Yeah, I don't think it,
The
Like
flu-
the nicest person you could ever meet.
Really?
Yes.
I thought he was in and out of the hospital with the flu or
he
something.
was in and out of the hospital with some sort of
Flu-like symptoms.
yeah,
Could have been the AIDS.
Oh.
maybe.
Could have been. Never know.
Yeah.
Probably got a lot of women, so could have been the HIV. All right, what's everybody drinking tonight? Andy, what do you got?
Well, tomorrow's Earth Day, so I was drinking a mudslide, and I drank that. So now I'm drinking some apple cider, some kind of hard cider,
Tomorrow's
chocolate raspberry. This is to you, Rob Pincus.
What are we doing for Earth Day tomorrow?
Something earthy.
Are you supposed to plant a tree?
Yeah.
Let's plant a tree.
You think Donna will let us plant a random tree in the yard next door?
Yeah, she
Yeah,
probably would.
in the field, right in the middle of the field with a goose. You know, I hate your fucking geese, man.
I don't like them either.
Mike
I
is
love-
feeding the geese, and my dog is eating the goose poop.
You can't eat the geese.
Why? They love the bread I give them.
Oh, tell
Oh my god!
Tell him.
Mike, please stop feeding the geese.
This
I'm
is
throwing Alka-Seltzer out there tomorrow.
They talk to me.
It's
more of a honk.
If the EC shows up and tickets you, I'm gonna do the big told you so dance you've ever seen. It's going to be.
Tell Mike why you can't feed the geese.
It's very bad for them. They cannot eat wheat. First of all,
You want to bet? They're eating it.
they are eating it. They should be eating it.
They can't digest it maybe, but they can certainly eat it.
Yeah,
They can
it's
eat
not
gravel.
good for them.
But you give ducks bread all the time.
Yeah, it's different though.
They're
'Cause
special.
Oh.
they are special.
Ducks
They
can.
like whole grains.
Ducks can digest
What
it.
about?
Yeah.
What if I give them like unleavened bread?
Matzah.
Right.
That's it.
They're not
Yes.
kosher.
Yes, they are the kosher Canada geese.
That's for Passover anyway. It's not even keeping kosher with that. It's awful.
You got to give them stuff from Tim Hortons.
Non bread.
They'll only eat the muffins from
They
Tim
need-
Hortons.
They'll become extremely like very, very, very violent for food. They will attack your customers in the parking lot for food.
Oh, that sounds like fun.
Can I bring them in the shop?
Luckily, most of them are armed.
Absolutely
So it's
not.
okay.
Oh.
They're also migratory birds, and you can't go near migratory birds. They're
Okay.
super off limits.
Oh. So if I get mad, I can't punch him in the face.
Definitely not.
What if Oscar did?
What about the
You're
swans?
ruining everything that I want to do.
I'm sorry, Mike. I would like to feed them too, but they will.
Actually,
Joking when I say.
I will tell you this: the highlights of my day are when Leah calls to talk to Glenn, and I try and think of something new to tell Glenn of who it is.
He forgets his phone every day
It's a piece of crap. Why do I want it?
because I need to talk to you.
He's also extremely busy shooting down German tanks. So
That
There's
makes
that.
me really happy.
Today we were on the radio, though.
we were on the ham.
That's right. You guys passed your test.
We passed our ham
finally.
tests. I am KD to KXK.
KD2AXJ.
Oh, you guys are twins.
Twinsies.
Do they have a Disney Channel show? Yes.
Robbie says it's National Side Boob Day.
I
National
was just
Side.
looking at Google on that. It's true.
Who declared that?
It's
Ooh,
better
I
than
didn't even-
High Five
Also
Day.
National High Five Day.
I know.
Really?
Fuck Facebook. It's Side Boob Day.
That. Is this like a real, does Obama
yeah.
know about this?
It's real.
We need
I'm
more
looking at
national
pictures right
days.
now.
All different kinds of days.
There is. There's a day for everything.
All right, so let's get into talking with Adam here. So I'm cleaning up my.
We
notes.
forgot the drinks for everyone else, but that's okay.
Oh, I'm
We just
sorry.
did my
Let's
drink and then
Erica.
stopped.
We got way off topic here. Erica, you're drinking iced tea.
I see. I
Okay.
have a migraine, so I'm trying.
Are you feeling a little better?
I'm feeling a little bit better.
That's good. You probably need more whiskey.
No.
Oh.
Red Bull.
Glenn and Leah, what are you guys drinking?
So I went to Wegmans today, and the beer guy at the Pittsburgh Wegmans is swell. And I said, "What do you got that's new?" And he goes, "Well, if you want to get drunk on what tastes like juice, you should drink this." And he wasn't lying.
What is it?
Mother Tier is their new spring beer. It's like grapefruity wheat beer.
Is it good?
It's really good. It tastes like grapefruit juice, but it's 8% alcohol.
I'm gonna get
Wow.
me some of that.
Sounds good.
Yeah, I'm a happy girl.
And I'm drinking Ellicottville Panteus Dropius,
That's great.
which is a Imperial IPA, which is 10.6% alcohol.
Wow. Pantiest, droppiest.
Mm-hmm.
I like it.
That's why I bought it.
Yeah, you're funny.
Oh, that's awesome.
Glenn's gonna drop his panties.
I'm
That
looking for
you just putting gun channels, Andy, is awesome.
That is
The boob thing?
Yeah, the
Yeah.
boob thing.
Yeah, it's true. That's
Yeah.
why they're boobs.
I get it now. It blows my mind.
You don't want to know?
You have to check out gun channels if you don't know what we're talking about.
Yeah. Okay, so for this week, I stopped on the way home and I saw this at the liquor store. Amador Whiskey Company. It's a double barrel whiskey finished in a Napa Valley wine barrel, and it's super smooth.
Color looks good.
Yeah, it's like 86 proof. It's got a cork, so you know it's good. I dig it. I dig it. I may have over-iced it, but I'll just add a little more whiskey. But I like it. So far, you said it was pretty good,
It
right?
was very tasty. Yeah. I had a little sip.
Is it under $45 a bottle?
It was on special for 47.
Yeah.
So it was 51 normally. It was between this and Tin Cup, and shout out to Eric from Foxton. We got Tin Cup when I was out in Phoenix with him, and that was delicious. So I almost grabbed that, but then I saw this was on special, and I figured I can get Tin Cup anytime.
I don't think I've ever had Tin Cup.
It's good. It's very smooth like this also. So, cool. Adam, you drinking anything tonight?
I'm enjoying a Dogfish Head beer to drink music to.
Oh, that's brand new!
One of these things. So I saw they were releasing this, and I was waiting very patiently. And the beer distributor down the street from the gun shop I work at actually was the first place to have it. So when I went out to lunch one day, I picked up a case of it. It's delicious. And the Dogfish Head Brewery is about half hour from my parents' beach house. So every summer I at least go and tour the brewery.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Yeah, that was I think the first brewery I ever took a tour of, back when it was like way smaller too, and then it became this like huge national thing. And,
Yeah, they blew up kind of out of nowhere a few years ago.
Yeah, they make pretty darn good beer.
Yeah.
I like that. The American Beauty is really good too. But I digress. So yeah,
Baltimore has some great beers around there.
Glenn, you're a big fan of like the 120s and the 90s, aren't you?
120 is like my favorite beer in the entire world.
I had that one time. Granted, I was like 21 when I had it, maybe a little older. And that thing, oh man, I was out at dinner with my parents, and I handed my mom my car keys. I was like, "You're driving me home." I had like half of that thing, and I just remember I only had one, and I remember it being very syrupy, and I didn't really care for it. I could see maybe why others would like it, but not my cup of tea.
It's definitely thick.
Yeah. It's like
But I've got one in the fridge that I've had for 2 years.
ooh, aging it.
The last one I have left.
Well, we have to go. They just finished bottling it last week.
I know it gets released this week.
I remember because in Pennsylvania, you can only buy anything less than a case at like a bar, and now I think some Wegmans actually, but yeah, so like we can't buy beer in well, let me rephrase that. Until recently, we couldn't buy beer in grocery stores. There's still no gas stations that sell it. So I went to undergrad at SUNY Binghamton, and I remember the first gas station I walked into, I saw cases of beer, and I was just so confused by the prospect you could buy beer anywhere but a beer distributor. So
Yeah.
I remember they had a case of 120. Huh?
Go ahead. I was just going to say we used to go visit
We went to
Carlisle. We went to the car show down in Carlisle and in Harrisburg, and we would have to go to that one specific place to get beer. You couldn't get it anywhere else.
Or you
Yeah.
bring it in.
Yeah, or you bring it down.
Yeah. So that case of like 120-minute IPA was like $300 or something like that. It was, yeah, but it was a case, so.
Most of the places around here won't let you buy more than 2 bottles.
Well, yeah, I mean that's because it's such a limited, you know. I got that higher math one they had for their 20th anniversary. I still have one in the fridge. That legit tasted like chocolate cake, and it was like 17% alcohol by volume. It was
It's amazing.
That's cool. All right, so let's get into this interview with Adam here. So Adam's with the Firearms Industry Consulting Group, and that's a division of the law office that you work for. So give us a little background of how you got into it and sort of what you're working with in the industry right now.
how I got into it. Which part did I get into? Well, let's see. I've had an interest in guns since little kid. I learned to shoot guns in actually the Boy Scouts. I was probably 12 years old down at summer camp, and I had this stupid grin that's never left my face since after shooting guns. Turned 18, bought a shotgun, was told to get rid of it, never did. Turned 21, bought a handgun, got a carry permit, and as you can see, this obviously just spiraled out of control, some might say. So I was in law school. I was a night student, so I was at a 4-year program instead of 3, and I guess it was my 3rd year of school that I finally decided I should probably look around for an internship because I'm going to be graduating soon, and hopefully I will be able to get a job somewhere. So there was an attorney that was his name I saw all the time on the Pennsylvania Gun Forum. So I sent an email asking if they needed, if they were open to internships. And I was able to somehow finagle my way into having an internship, which eventually turned into a job. And I'm very grateful that it happened that way because I don't think I would be very happy practicing any other area of law. So I got stupid lucky, really, because a lot of my classmates didn't have jobs for quite some time, and the legal field in general wasn't a good time to be graduating, and it's still not really the best.
Is there like a abundance of? Because I know with what I did, as far as engineering and computers and IT, there was a boom of people, and then the jobs kind of fell out. Is that sort of what happened with lawyers? Way more people graduating from law school than availability?
That's exactly what happened. Law schools kept upping admission. The year I graduated. No, I think the year after I was accepted to law school, the rates started dropping for acceptance, like the number of people they would let in each class, because the market was just abysmal, and it's still really not that good. So if you're thinking of going to law school, really give it some thought. Is this something you want to do?
And that's awesome that you basically got into exactly what you wanted. I mean, that's a great way to stay a part of this industry. And it says you tell me a little bit about, you represent both individuals and companies. What would you say you do a little bit more of, or what do you enjoy more, working for a company fighting the ATF, or an individual having to work against maybe their state or something like that?
It's a mixed bag. I guess I'll start with individuals. I was doing a lot of gun trusts. Those are kind of slowing down a little bit in, given ATF's new regulation that's going to be coming out. So some people still see the utility in it, others don't. Usually where I feel a big sense of accomplishment, if you will, is helping somebody when they their rights have been violated. For instance, in Pennsylvania, and this is really unfortunate. In Pennsylvania, if you're anywhere, if you're involuntarily committed, you become a prohibited person. Pennsylvania's involuntary commitment process, there's no due process for anybody. You're literally at the mercy of a doctor who signs papers saying you're not mentally stable. And the problem is the doctors work for the hospital, and a lot of hospitals make a lot of money on involuntary commitments. So just like that, you have a bad day, you say something, you do something stupid, but maybe not to the point of where you actually have mental problems. You could lose your firearms rights for indefinitely, really. So we do that stuff. We do when people get denied on background checks, challenges to that. If there's one that I'm working on that the guy was denied. The state police said he was charged with one thing, where he was actually charged with another. He had all the documentation to prove it, and they still wouldn't change it until it was appealed up to the attorney general. It's just stuff like that where you really shouldn't have to hire a lawyer if you have the evidence right here. Like, look, here it is. But the flip side of the coin with the industry, I love giving the finger to the government. That makes me smile, especially when it comes to ATF. As you well know, because you're involved, you are a licensee.
Sure.
ATF is a mixed bag. There are some very good people in ATF who are very pro-gun and awesome to deal with, and there are just some people that are just awful human beings that look at it as their job to just put people out of business.
Yeah.
And that's not what they're there for. They're there to ensure compliance with the regulations. It shouldn't be, you put their driver's license number in the wrong box on the 4473. All the information's there. You can still do your job. Well, that's a violation. And in fact, you have enough of these, and there's some other things that are, not a big deal in the grand scheme of things because all the info's there. But we're going to revoke your license and destroy your livelihood in the process.
Sure.
So dealing with that is just, it's sad. I don't like. I like doing it, but I feel bad for the person going through it because a lot of times they haven't done anything where they intentionally violated the Gun Control Act, which is what the levels of scrutiny is supposed to be. You willingly violated it. A mistake when ATF transposes a serial number, it's 12345, and somebody writes 12354, it's a mistake. But when you do it as a licensee, well, that's a willful violation, which is just insane.
Yeah, it boggles my mind sometimes with. I think we ordered a suppressor in like November. We called to check on it, and supposedly ATF lost the paperwork. First I was like, oh, I bet it was the distributor giving us the runaround. But then we started to hear that it's actually true. I spoke to some of my friends at Yankee Hill, and they're like, yeah, they lost the paperwork on notification of manufacture of 500 suppressors. And I'm like, how can you enforce these laws if you can't even keep your paperwork straight?
Well, the problem with ATF is ATF goes unchecked. Every other regulatory agency out there, to some degree, it's weird. ATF is the redheaded stepchild of regulatory agencies. For the most part, other regulatory agencies are swallowed by the industry that they work in. So the industry kind of runs them. ATF is the exact opposite. ATF has been at war with the firearms industry since, the beginning of time, and it continues to just, instead of work with the industry ultimately what it's supposed to do is help the industry comply with the law. So, for instance, if you're selling guns, you're supposed to record certain information. We all know because we all fill out 4473s when we buy guns from stores. The purpose of the form is to just, where did the gun go? ATF finds it at a crime scene. What do? They call the manufacturer. Manufacturer, you manufactured this model, serial number. Where did you send it? Well, we sent it to distributor A. And distributor A, where did you send it to? Well, we sent it to Joe Bob's gun shop. And where did he dispose of it to? Well, he disposed of it to Adam. Well, I reported that gun stolen because it was stolen. So now I've helped you do your job, and that's the purpose of it. It's not to try and play gotcha with, you didn't check this box. That's asinine.
Yeah. Tell me before I know I want to talk about the 4473 changing that you put in your notes here, but to take a step back, we've actually had a couple people come in completely clueless about the change in the NFA stuff for gun trusts.
Sure.
And it's weird for New York because everybody wants it. They really can't have it, so they look at it. Can I have a trust outside of the state? But give us for everybody who may re-listen to this and everything. Give us a little background on why somebody would want a trust, maybe why they would want it before, and what's changing.
Okay, so we'll start with what ATF 41F is. ATF 41F is the culmination of 2.5 years of regulatory rulemaking in which ATF violated a number of different provisions of the Administrative Procedures Act. They didn't give sufficient notice and time for comments on it. It actually, if you look at what they're predicating the entire rulemaking on, it was that prohibited persons were utilizing gun trusts to obtain firearms, specifically NFA firearms, which they offered not one single example of where this happened. The individuals over at the National Firearms Trade Collectors Association were also responsible for this, so you can be sure to thank them as well. So ATF 41P, the proposed rule, is slightly different from what the final rule ended up being. The final rule ended up being that legal entities like trusts, corporations, LLCs, partnerships, etc., would have what are going to be known as responsible persons. And those are going to be individuals just like an FFL that can exercise decision-making over the firearm, who controls it, things like that. So in the context of a trust, I can't imagine unless it was specifically drafted to be any other way, it would be the trustees of the trust. So what it's going to require is after July 13th, when this actually goes into effect, any of the trustees are going to have to submit fingerprints and photographs with every application that goes to ATF for an NFA firearm. So if you have 5 trustees, it's 5 sets of fingerprints, it's 5 photographs.
Every time you register anything.
Yes, and anytime you're either transferring or submitting an application to manufacturer. Yep, anytime. The look-back period was for the actual trust document itself, and quite honestly, setting out the document every time isn't really the biggest pain, but the look-back period only is for the document itself. So the other new thing is going to be, with legal entities anyway, is going to be now you have to notify the chief law enforcement officer that you're purchasing these firearms, which raises some very important questions. What are they doing with this notification? And if it's a copy of the form, that's privileged tax information. So what are they doing to secure that? With individuals catch a break, and I think this is why the industry is not fighting back here, specifically the silencer guys. The individual used to be fingerprints, photographs, Clio signature, and a lot of times the chief law enforcement officer wouldn't sign the forms, so you would have people look to other ways to obtain NFA firearms. Specifically, in recent years, trusts have been extremely popular to do that. Now that's also going to Clio notification, where they're just going to have to notify the chief law enforcement officer, and they no longer need their permission, so to speak.
So it's similar to filing for your FFL. You have to notify your chief law enforcement, but it's not a request for permission.
Correct. Yeah.
Okay.
So here's why the industry is not fighting back against it, in my opinion. If it had been like it was proposed, that it was going to be the chief law enforcement officer signature, so nothing would have changed for the individual, and we added signature for legal entities, you would have all these companies going, whoa, hold on a second. We're not going to be able to sell our stuff to people because a lot of these chief law enforcement officers aren't signing. Instead, what you see now is that, well, ATF might have made a little bit of a compromise here. We're just going to say it's notification. Everybody's getting their background check still because the fingerprints go to FBI, they get run through FBI, and they make sure you're an upstanding citizen, specifically not a prohibited person.
Right.
But had that been Clio's signature, you'd have the industry going, whoa, wait a second. Well, you just cut our sales. Now we need to do something to fight back against it. So this is what always is the problem with the firearms industry. They're willing to take a little bit of a step backwards for what is a perceived, benefit, if you will. There's nothing in the law to support any, the requirement for fingerprints and photographs of members of legal entities. There's nothing in the law to support Clio notification, but the industry is going to look at it and say, well, we can still sell our stuff, so we haven't really lost out here.
Right.
Which is unfortunate. We've been trying to raise funds to fight it. We've raised some money, but not nearly enough, and the industry has just not really had any interest in partaking in the fight against ATF. And the problem with the industry is they're very willing to make a deal with ATF when they think it's good for them, only to find out later on that ATF really doesn't play by rules and ends up coming up to screw them anyway.
Right.
So with trust specifically, since you asked about it, prior to this going into effect, individuals. So in Pennsylvania, for instance, Philadelphia County, the chief law enforcement officers there would never sign anything. So your only way to get NFA stuff was through a legal entity. So that was a very big draw to people. I tell my clients there's now really two main reasons, because the third is going to be a moot point here, and that's being the point I just mentioned. The second is for the estate planning benefits. Trusts are estate planning documents. So if you're concerned about how things are going to go after you pass away, a trust is a very good way to do that. That's not to say, and I have seen lawyers out there saying it, that if you have NFA items registered to you as an individual, they can't pass on to your next of kin, and that's just absolute horseshit. If anybody tells you that, don't listen to them. They're selling you snake oil and not the gun lube. The last reason is for others to be able to use and possess the assets of the legal entity. So in the trust, any of the trustees usually have the ability to use and possess those items. That becomes beneficial when we're talking about transfers under the NFA. If I were to, for instance, if Mike lived down the street from me and I were to give him my SBR and, here, go to the range, have a good day, come back when you're done, ATF would consider that an illegal transfer. Sure. If, however, I had a trust and he were a trustee, I could do that and say, here, go to the range, have a good time. It also, deals with, you want to leave something with your brother or your parents at your parents' house, or they want to go hunting with your silencer. It's useful in that regard as well. So there still does exist some benefits. I always tell my clients, you need to examine it from what you're looking to accomplish and see whether or not it is what you're looking to do. If it is, great, more than happy to do it. If not, there are other options out there for you, like the individual route, and I wish you the best.
Yeah. Well, before we get into what you mentioned about the 4473, let's sidestep real quick and talk about the event at the end of the month. I want to have you get some promotion in on this. I'm assuming there's still room for end users to register for it. We'd like to promote it as well, and I personally haven't been able to post much about it lately, but I will. The machine gun shoot. So tell us briefly about that. I know Glenn and I are going to try and make it down at the end of the month and bring a bunch of our machine guns. So, in your best Twitter 140 characters, why should people come?
Two ranges, a silencer range, a machine gun range, about a quarter of a mile from one another with a lot of trees, so you get the experienced silencers and machine guns. Zip line, inversion wall, 1,100-yard range, industry members, 7 silencer manufacturers, or 6, giveaways including 3 Alpha Dog silencers, a Dead Air mask, B5 Systems is giving out stuff, I believe Lancer Systems is giving out stuff, Magpul gave us PMags to give away, and who the hell doesn't like shooting machine guns?
Right. Well, I know we're going to bring a bunch of stuff down to give away also. I can't put my head around what to email you back, so I was like, I'll just message you and tell you what I'm going to bring.
That's fine. So the website is stonemachinegun.com, and you can register there. It's $25 for both days. I think at the door, I want to say it was going to be $40. I think we've talked about dropping that to $25 each day, so there still is a benefit to pre-registering, and there are discounts for, hotels in the region too, for attendees.
That reminds us, Glenn, we should get a hotel because I don't want to sleep in your Jeep with you or in my BMW.
So this is next weekend, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
I've slept in the Jeep, Mike. It doesn't suck.
What doesn't? Sleeping with Glenn?
Jeep.
Oh, in the Jeep? All right, fair enough.
I want to go for the zip line.
I know, everything sounds cool. I think it's going to be an awesome time.
Yeah, it's the property's massive. I was up there again on Monday. Literally, the machine gun range. They were both built for this event, and the new machine gun range is fucking massive. It's so big.
Glenn, we better order that HK G3 stuff.
Yeah, we're gonna have to.
Yeah. Any questions from Andy or Glenn for any of this before we finish up with the 4473 stuff?
I know nothing about the NFA crap because New York sucks.
Good ad, Andy.
Yeah.
What do
You
you
should
think?
know. You should know more. We have it all at the shop.
Yeah.
You just need to poke over my shoulder when I'm filling out all those forms.
There's so much paperwork.
Yeah.
Does he think there's a realistic chance for the Hearing Protection Act?
No.
Yeah, that's
No, it's a pipe dream. All you need to do is look to see who the president is and how much support it has in Congress. There's not enough support to override a veto. And everybody forgets, I'll just throw this in for a quick 2 seconds. Everybody forgets once you start messing around with bills, you got to remember everybody gets a chance to throw in amendments. So you may get silencers pulled out of the NFA, but what comes along with it? At what cost? Do handguns get added to the NFA? Does the tax go up to $6,000? You know, any number of things could happen.
It's almost like a don't rock the boat.
I'm not necessarily going to say it's a not, don't rock the boat, but everybody seems to forget that any of that stuff's possible.
Sure.
Everybody just looks at, oh, silencers are going to get pulled out of the NFA. Well, yeah, maybe, but what else could happen?
Right.
I do see more states coming out with suppressor laws, like
Yes.
hunting in Ohio. I mean, you see them more than you not see them. So maybe there's a chance someday.
Maybe.
Not with our government right now in New York State, but if that changes, it could be a chance.
Well, you can see. I mean, you can look over time. There's obviously been a shift in the philosophy of firearms in the country as a whole, and you got to remember the electorate votes, and they vote people who supposedly represent their ideas. But you also have strongholds like California and New Jersey. Sorry, you guys in New York. The city runs you. Where those ideas, it seems to be the exact opposite, actually. Well, we haven't gone stupid enough. Let's try and go stupider. Especially if you've seen what's going on in California now, the bills they've introduced because of the San Bernardino shootings. Just, what do you think exactly this is going to solve? You already have some of the strictest gun laws in the country, and
Yeah, I don't think there's any understanding of it, because you look at the SAFE Act that was passed here in New York, and it was passed on the backs of the West Webster incident, and there was no understanding of firearms in the way the law was written at all. And so now we're dealing with it, trying to still be able to arm reasonable civilians and move forward on that. But let's talk a little bit about, you said the ATF may be attempting to change the 4473. Glenn and I deal with those on a daily basis, so tell me a little bit about that.
Sure. So ATF published in the Federal Register, they're soliciting comments on the 4473, some proposed changes to it. And I went through and wrote a blog article about it, which is on blog.princelaw.com. You can find a link to the proposed one, but basically anybody who's familiar with the form, the entire form, knows that it deals with the individual that's transferring the fire or having the firearm transferred to them, supposed to anyway, and then all the stuff the dealer has to fill out for the compliance stuff. So the individuals who are filling out the form as the purchaser are going to see some changes. One of the interesting ones that is more geared towards the licensee than that person filling out the form is at the top, and it says prepare an original only at the licensed premises, and that's where your license is addressed to. Also, qualifying gun show or event in the same state, which is a new addition to the form. There's been a lot of problems where licensees have been conducting transactions where they couldn't do so. So I think this is in order to help ensure compliance. The box 1 now includes where you can add junior, senior, so there's instructions to include that part in there. Where it's race and ethnicity, this one people miss all the time. If you look at the form and you're looking at it kind of quickly where all those check boxes are, nobody sees that little divider between the ethnicity and the race. Yeah,
every single form.
Oh yeah, I all the time when I'm dealing with customers, all the time. The one that really caught my attention was the "Are you a fugitive from justice?" And if you look at the instructions, the fugitive from justice is defined in the law, and off the top of my head, I can't remember if it's the same as what's in the instructions here. It says any person who has fled from any state to avoid prosecution for a felony or a misdemeanor, or any person who leaves the state to avoid giving testimony in any criminal proceeding. This is the part that kind of bothers me. The term also includes any person who knows that misdemeanor or felony charges are pending against such person and who leaves the state of prosecution. So what they're insinuating is that if I, as a Pennsylvania resident, let's say I have a misdemeanor 2 pending against me, and a misdemeanor, just for reference, misdemeanor 1 in Pennsylvania, with the exception of 1, is a prohibiting offense. It means I can't own or possess firearms if I'm convicted of it. I'm federally prohibited. So if I'm, charges are pending against me for a misdemeanor, which is not a prohibiting offense in my state, and I go down to Delaware across the border to, I don't know, Dick's Sporting Goods to buy a shotgun, and I check no to that box, I've just made a false statement on a federal form according to that definition, which comes at the penalty of perjury and some other interesting charges. So I'm curious to see how ATF will deal with that, and whether or not they will change it. So there's some problems there. I like the fact that they now have included, which has been in a bulletin from ATF for a long time, that if you are you use marijuana, even if it's prescribed to you, it's still illegal federally, which means that you are you can't check no to that just because your state allows you to do it. There's one or two other ones. They changed the instructions for adjudicated mentally defective, and they've reworked the citizenship stuff at the bottom of the form. The dealers and employees will see they've created a field that allows you to include the name of a FFL employee who completes the NICS check. I guess some of the bigger box stores, they have the dude at the counter who fills out the form and hands it to some other guy to run the check itself. So I guess there's some kind of accountability they can kind of build in there now. The NFA question stuff there has changed too. The box 20 reads, no NICS check was required because a background check was completed during the NFA approval process on an individual who will receive the NFA firearms as reflected on the approved application. It's a mouthful, right? The instructions get even better, though. A NICS check must be conducted if an NFA firearm has been approved for a transfer to a trust or a legal entity, such as a corporation, and no background check was conducted as part of the NFA approval process on the individual who will receive the firearm. Individuals must go through the background check. So what's interesting is that you have them complete this form, and now you have the exact opposite, where ATF 41F is supposed to solve this exact problem. So I'm curious to see whether or not they're going to strip that language out of there with some feedback or not, because you shouldn't be able to pick it up if you're not a member of the corporation or trust already, unless you were added after the fact, after the transfer had started, I guess.
Yeah.
So,
when are they thinking to put this into effect?
They have the comments are open until June 6th of this year, and what they do from there is up to them. They need to go review the comments. So part of rulemaking is comments are solicited, they review the comments, and then at the end they'll publish a document where they go through and say, we considered X, Y, Z, and respond to the comments in there. So with ATF 41P, it took 2.5 years for them to do that. Right. This, I suspect, will be quicker. I couldn't give you a timeline.
Yeah. Well, that's good information for sure. I think it may be above and beyond what most of our listeners would be into, but it gives them a glimpse of what we deal with from a retail and manufacturing standpoint for sure. So, yeah. I hope that answered a lot of people's questions. If people want to get a hold of you for more technical, or if they have an issue they want to hire you for, that's to go to the Prince Law website to get a hold of you?
Yeah, so if you have an issue, you can certainly go to either princelaw.com, call the office, say you heard me on Crash and Burn and you're interested in talking to me about your issue. I only practice law in Pennsylvania. I do handle federal issues nationwide. So if it's a state-specific issue like New York state law, unfortunately, I can't help you. Off the top of my head, I don't remember any of the attorneys up there, but I could certainly put you in touch with somebody who might be able to help you. But if you're, a licensee or you know somebody in the business federally, or you're in Pennsylvania, more than happy to help.
Very cool. Well, I appreciate that, and thank you for coming on the show. I think it was super informative. Before we move on, Andy or Glenn, any other follow-ups or any questions?
No, I'm good.
Cool. I can't believe Glenn's quiet. I mean, knowledge dump on Glenn right there.
Oh, yeah.
Cool. Well, Adam, you're welcome to stay on as we move on through the ridiculous part of the show. And if you want to bounce, just let us know, and we'll plug your stuff one more time. And let's move right on to our normal guns and gear topic. I only got one person in my notes here. Glenn, what do you got for tonight?
Everybody else dipped out.
Apparently.
This is actually kind of keys into my later news topic, and it's Erica's inspired it this week, actually. And it's my beard oil, because she's been talking about beards lately. And if you're going to have a big beard, you have to put something in it. Leah can tell you I'm a big not fan of product, to like her chagrin.
But I'm also not a cheese beard fan, which anyone who has a beard knows what I'm talking about.
So Mike doesn't know what we're talking about.
Mike does not know what you're talking about.
But I actually mixed my own up, but there's tons of stuff out there now. You can get it in, like, Wegmans had it.
I mean, real quick, explain why this is even necessary. Beards are hair on your face, which means they come in contact with your hands and all of your food and all of your sweat and all of your grossness. So it is a part of your body that needs to be constantly cleaning itself, or it starts to turn into cheese.
Cheese. Actual cheese?
Gross.
Well, yeah.
It can get kind of funky.
It can get really super freaking funky. So, on the insistence of his wife, who loves him very much, Glenn mixed up this bottle of beard oil, and I will let you continue.
No, you gave me the recipe.
Not really.
Anyway, I mixed up jojoba oil, but there's tons of different oils.
I think it's pronounced jojoba.
Maybe, I don't know. But I use that because it's really good for your skin. I had really dry skin under my beard, and that helped. And then I put lemongrass oil and tea tree oil in it, so it smells delightful.
And the reason you put tea tree oil in is because it is a very natural disinfectant and antimicrobial. So it kills all the funk that turns your face to cheese.
Wow.
And because you put it on your beard, it continues to work all day, killing the funky cheese face.
Funky cheese face.
Funky cheese face.
It also makes all your hair nice and straight and not curly anymore.
Nice. That's good. Leah, do you have any guns and gear for tonight?
No.
No new cooking pans?
You did get a new cooking pan.
I did get a new cooking pan, but I don't know. It's a baking pan. It's a continue. On with the show.
On with the show. Erica, nothing as usual? You were going to talk about your SIG, but then you got the migraine and didn't prepare.
I didn't prepare.
It's all good. We'll talk about it next week.
Okay. Sorry.
That's good. Andy, anything?
I have my favorite compass. Because we went geocaching the other day. I did have it with me, but we didn't have to use it. I have the Silva Ranger. It's got the nice mirror. Oh, look at that. Woo, that's for easily sighting in distant points, say like a tree or a mountaintop, and you can look through this little slot, see your mountain, and then look down through the mirror and see your azimuth, like what heading you have to go.
Oh, that's cool.
There's multiple uses for the mirror, but that's the main. That's the main point. Like you look down this bottom thing and it points right at it, and then you look in the mirror and you can see the compass.
It's pretty necessary if you're going to use a compass to find out where you are.
How many people know what a compass is?
Not many.
My phone's got one.
Everybody who knows what a map is knows what a compass is.
I don't know about that. Plenty of people have Google Maps. That doesn't mean they have any
Yeah.
idea how a compass works.
Paper maps. Paper maps.
What's north?
An atlas.
Canada.
We'll do some land nav with Mike this summer and see if he can get somewhere with a compass.
Do some
I
more
like it.
hearing.
Yeah.
Mendon Ponds has a land nav course.
I did awful on the Oregon Trail.
You only had to go west.
I had to go up, but I got dysentery. So
If you had a compass, you won't get dysentery if you had a compass. Not
maybe.
true.
Adam, you said you had some gear you want to talk about.
Yeah, so I was thinking about it after you had sent me those notes. I have a buddy who owns a company, and he's just kind of started to get back into the swing of things. He never left, so to speak, but he's started to promote it again. It's my buddy over at Boxer Tactical, and he produces belts, among some other things. And I've been wearing one of the Zenith belts. The Zenith belt? Yeah, the Zenith belt. For the last, 2 years. So I've had one gun belt before that. This was my second one. And this was before I even knew him. I referred to it by another one of my friends. And I'll tell you what, this belt has been through, hell and back, and it's awesome. And my favorite thing about it is he's doing this thing called Honestly American, where you'll hear that companies are claiming their stuff is made in the United States. Well, he goes to the point of where if you go on his website, which is boxertactical.com, and click the Honestly American tab, it'll tell you exactly where their materials, state-wise, where they come from. And so far, if there's something that they can't get made in the United States or isn't produced in the United States, they'll tell you. So, for instance, the only thing that's not made in the U.S. currently is the Cobra buckle and the packing tape that's from Canada. That's it. Everything else is from a city somewhere in the United States, and I think that's such an awesome thing.
Yeah, that is cool.
And the fact that he's putting it out there like, hey, we get our stuff. So he makes some awesome gear, and I highly encourage your listeners to go if nothing else, just go check it out.
Yeah, definitely. They look like good, everyday carry gear belts. I like it.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I put the link in Gun Channels, so if you're not in Gun Channels, so check it out. The belt, and they're reasonably priced, $79 or whatever. It's pretty typical for a belt.
Yeah, on par for what most gun belts are these days.
Absolutely.
John Willis won't like them. Guarantee that.
He's always got to start.
Oh God,
shit,
I know,
doesn't he?
right?
Well, it's true.
I actually
John Willis is on his keyboard right now typing, what the fuck, why should I buy that belt?
I actually like the key whip he's got. I'm gonna buy some of those and stick it on something.
I like his shirt. I think his shirt's awesome, and the patches are pretty cool.
His
Yeah.
logo is fantastic.
Yeah, I like it too. Adam, get him in touch with me so we can get him on the show, and maybe if he wants to send us some stuff to check out, we'll do that too.
Sure. Yeah, I'll do that.
Help him out because I think that's really cool about the actual Honestly American stuff. No, not many people do that. I mean,
It's so hard. It's so hard.
It is. As a manufacturer, I don't know where my aluminum came from. I bought it down the street. Do I know it actually came from the U.S.? Well, I hope so. But
It
Why don't you ask?
yeah, it's tough.
I can tell you, if you go to the extent like that to make sure your stuff's made in the United States, it cuts into your profit margins hard.
Oh, God, yeah.
Because nothing in the United States is cheap, which is why people buy stuff from out of country all the time. So $79 for a belt when the competition is at the same, and they're not showing you that all this stuff, with the exception of that belt buckle and packing tape, came from the United States. That says something. To me at least. So I owned his products for a couple of years now, and a friend of mine, and I think it's an awesome thing he's doing. So I encourage your listeners to go check it out. But
yeah, everybody check that out. I put the link in Gun Channels, boxertactical.com. Check those guys out too. So, Glenn, we're skipping guns and gear for time constraint tonight.
Yeah, it looks like it.
Okay, what are you going to talk about next week? You're going to talk about match grade for next week then?
Match grade and what it actually means to you, and what it means and when you see it on a gun or anything like that.
All right, so make sure you guys tune in for next week as well to get a hold of that. So we're going to jump right into Leah's rap segment because everybody loves Leah's rap. So I'm going to go ahead and prep your rap here, Leah. Are you getting?
This is a good one.
It is a good one.
I'm ready. Prep away.
It's super old school here. First of all, we're going to guarantee Glenn isn't going to get it. That's obvious. But let's see if any of our listeners or any of our friends on Gun Channels can even pick up who it is. So are you ready, Leah? I pasted it in there for you.
Hang on. Let me refresh because I got nothing. I just have your name floating here.
No, I posted it in the Leah rap document. That's always in a separate document.
Damn it, you're right. Damn it. Hang on. Sorry, guys. Someone talk about something interesting.
I like turtles.
I finished my cake.
You did finish it.
By the ocean.
Don't ruin my song.
I like
covered with cream.
Where? Why?
Yeah, all that whipped cream is so good. I literally went to Erica's like, get dog food. So I was like, all right, liquor store first. I'll get a new bottle of whiskey and whipped cream. Oh, yeah, I need dog food.
Stop bragging about remembering to get dog food today. God.
Oh, what? Did Glenn forget to get dog food?
Leo was supposed to.
Oh, I see.
Okay, you ready?
We're ready.
All right. I think this is the right one. I think this is current. I hope it's current. You're the only other person in this document, so I assume it's current. All right, guys. Hit you with no delaying. So what you saying, yo? Silly with my 9 milli? That's what I'm calling it from now on. What the dealie, yo? What? When I be on the mic, yes, I do my duty, yo. Wild up in the club like we wild in the studio. You don't want to violate American of African descent. Really and truly, yo. My main thug, American of African descent, named Julio. He nudie, yo. What? Type of American of African descent that'll slap you with the Tulio. Blow. Bitch, American of African descent, scared to death. Act fruity, yo. Fuck that. Look at Shorty. She a little cutie, yo. Yeah. The way she shake it make me want to get all in the booty, yo. Woohoo! Top miss. Just hit the banging bitches in videos, huh? Wildin' with my freak like we up in the freak shows. Damn. Hit you with the shit, make you feel it in your toes, yeah? Hot shit got all you Americans of African descent in wet clothes. Take it off. Styling my metaphors when I formulate my flows. If you don't know, you fucking with lyrical player pros like that.
Nice. Any guess, Glenn, without looking at Gun Channels?
Without looking at Gun Channels? Well, the lyrical player thing would make me think Kanye West, but he said old school, so I'm going to go with the rhymes.
You know, like five rappers.
Well, you're right. Busta Rhymes is right.
There's no fucking way you were right.
I Googled it.
Wow, he cheated.
He cheated.
Oh.
That's okay. We'll give it to him.
There was no way I was going to get it.
No. Robbie says you slayed it, though, Leah. So Robbie digs your rapping.
Thanks, Robbie.
Nice. All right. Leah, are you ready for your news topic?
Yeah, I'm very partial to my news topic tonight. They
All
grew
right.
a flower in space.
Really? Is that possible?
Yeah. So remember when you were in elementary school and you put the bean on the paper towel in the plastic bag?
Yep.
And it grew? They do that in space now. And and the International Space Station grew the first ever flower in space.
What kind of flower was it?
It's a zinnia, which is appropriate because they don't need a ton of water, and the flowers themselves last a long time, and you can eat them, which who on Mars is going to eat flowers when you could just grow lettuce? I don't really know. But yeah.
Have you seen the movie The Martian?
Yes.
I saw it without headphones on a flight.
Was that on the way to Vegas?
It was on the way home from Vegas.
That movie was awesome. It was a great movie.
It was
I
a
liked
good
it.
movie.
It was very good.
But he grew stuff, so it's done before.
Which is funny because
Real.
Scott Kelly tweeted that his flowers started dying, and then he referred to the character in The Martian as like the guy that he needed to emulate in order to make his flowers not die.
Does our plants aren't looking too good would be a problem on Mars. I'm gonna have to channel my inner Mark Watney. That's good.
Yes. So, but yeah, they grew a flower in space.
That's cool.
That's cool.
The first time? Like, I feel
Yeah.
like we tried this earlier.
Well, they've tried like very simple plants like lettuce,
Mhm.
but they've never tried anything that. I mean, a flower. A flower requires a certain amount of UV energy.
Don't they need bees?
Photosynthesize. Zinnias, I believe you can. There are a lot of flowers that you can pollinate by hand. Basically, like pretend to be a bee.
Until we develop space bees.
Is that like plant IVF?
Yes.
Andy, medical prepping. Got anything tonight?
You want to talk about shotguns?
Sure.
All right, I got a thing. This is from Personal Defense World, talking about 12 shotgun myths. We've had a bunch of people come in talking about shotguns, especially like cops, who they talk about shotguns and they're very misinformed, I think. A lot of people are misinformed about shotguns. They see a lot of stuff on television and they bring that into their homes and into their worlds, and this shit's just not true. Here are the top 10 myths, they say. Busting myths. All right, stopping power. Most people don't have slugs. Most people have birdshot. So the stopping power of birdshot really isn't. I mean, birdshot will fuck shit up close up. Don't get me wrong. It will fuck shit up. But it doesn't have the stopping power. Like you shoot it and it knocks you across the room. It just doesn't do it. It doesn't have the penetrating power. It doesn't have the weight behind
more
it.
by the wad than the actual birdshot.
Oh yeah, the wad will fuck you up.
Yeah.
These hamburgers.
My wad always fucks people.
Close quarters precision, it talks about. It's like, I don't even have to aim with my shotgun. I just put it around the corner and I shoot. Boom.
I hate that.
I mean, everyone who comes in, they talk about that all the time. It's like, I don't have to aim.
Biggest fight on the internet. Whenever I have semi-gun friendly friends and they talk about that, I'll just get a shotgun. And I think I've tagged Andy in half of those arguments I get into.
Oh. I mean, within 25 yards, I mean, you're talking a small hole. It's not, even with birdshot, it doesn't open up that much. So you have to be accurate with a shotgun. You have to aim. You have to.
Yeah.
Inside a house, there's no way you can just put it around the corner. It's like putting a pistol around the corner. Same thing.
Yep.
Number 3, the infamous ready to rack. So you rack your shotgun and people will run away. The only thing racking your shotgun does is tell someone that your gun was not loaded at the time, or you just wasted a round. That's it. That's the only thing racking does. Stupid. Number 4 is double barrel defense. So they say double barrel shotgun is the most lethal shotgun out there. A lot of people say that. Yes, the double barrel shotgun was the most lethal because there was no such thing as a pump or semi-automatic. Since they made a pump and semi-automatics, the double barrel has kind of gone out of popularity. So it's not the most lethal shotgun around there.
But Uncle Joe Biden said you just got to go blast 2 off the
Yeah, and then you're out of ammo.
Wait,
That's all you had to do.
I'll shoot both at the same time?
What about a sawed-off one?
So legal.
Barrel shot both at the same time would technically be a machine gun.
End the attack. Number 5, end the attack. One shot will end everything because it's got just so much power. Not true. One shot will not always. I mean, it's possible, but it will not always. Don't count on one shot from a shotgun ending the fray. Taming recoil. Number 6, they say, well, this is a myth that you shoot a shotgun and it'll knock on your ass. It's not true. I mean, my 11-year-old, she was 11 at the time. She ran her 12 gauge like a champ. It's just, you need practice. You have to know how to do it. You don't hold it gingerly. You have to really, put it in your shoulder. Make that recoil your bitch. Number 7 is less than effective. They talk about ammunition using non-lethal rounds. They say the police use beanbag rounds. Why can't civilians use beanbag? Hey, go ahead, use beanbag round. I will not use a beanbag round because I use it for defense, and it has to stop the threat. A beanbag will not stop your threat at all.
For sure.
It might make him pissed.
Yep.
Number 8, it says smoothbore style. Semi-automatic versus pump. What do you guys think?
Depends.
I mean, the myth is pump always works, semi-automatic doesn't.
You can screw up a pump gun too.
Absolutely. Short
Tough
rack. I've
race.
seen so many people short rack a pump gun, and it's out until you have to dig out those rounds. It's what it comes down to is get a decent shotgun. Don't buy the cheapest shotgun there, and learn how to run your shotgun. Right, Glenn?
Yes.
Glenn's shaking his head if you can't see it. Talk about the guy coming in who wants to buy the Maverick or the cheapest shotgun you have.
Yeah, or the H&Rs or the stuff where they're like, well, it's just an 870 clone.
Yeah. From
Why
China.
shouldn't you do it?
From China.
Yeah, exactly.
And it weighs way more.
Yeah, weighs twice as much and works half as often.
Yeah.
It's got that rattle.
And I only
Very
need 5
special
rounds
rattle.
because I'm never going to shoot it.
Yeah, there's a reason it's so cheap, because they use the cheapest, absolute cheapest parts they can. Right?
It's like buying a Kia.
Number 9 is, they say, tactical and practical. So you buy a Mossberg 500, and then you start changing out every single thing, adding every single option you can to these things. And yeah, it's just like a defensive handgun. You don't want to trick it totally out, race gun thing. You want it as stock as you can. So putting a laser on it and a flashlight on it will not help you in a defensive situation. I mean, if you want to put a flashlight on it, that's fine, but don't load the whole thing up with everything that you have.
Spend that money on ammo in a class.
And a class.
You know what? You know what'll make you take stuff off your gun faster than anything else? Taking a class and realizing you don't need half that crap.
Absolutely.
We have one of the best instructors in the country here in our area, in Northeast New York, Chris Fry. His shotgun class is renowned throughout the industry, and if you have a chance, take one of Chris's shotgun classes. It's amazing.
Plus, he posts the most ridiculous food memes lately.
I love those.
They're hilarious.
He really gets me.
He does. Like the
His
pizza
memes are
I'm posting lately.
His food memes. And the last but not least, target in sight. They talk about the bead on a shotgun. Is it enough? Yes and no. They have the red dot sights these days. I would put on any single shotgun out there. They are perfect for home defense. I would put a red dot on a shotgun.
Yeah, I would too. Small one.
RMR all day.
Absolutely.
Red dots are nice. I have ghost rings on mine just because it's simpler.
I like the factory Mossberg ghost rings on the 930s. They're actually pretty decent.
Yeah, those aren't bad.
I have the bead sight on mine, but it's an SBS, so it's awesome anyway.
For sure. Cool. All right. Good info, Andy. I'm going to thank our sponsors real quick. Foxden Tactical. Check out their stuff for paracord slings and some accessories. Clean Snatch Soap. Use coupon code CRASHANDBURN for 15% off any of their soaps. We currently are using their hand soap at our shop and using it in the shower.
Yeah.
It's good stuff. So, and Broken Angel Gear. Check out their products. We had it on the show last week. Bug out bag, some really, really great stuff. And he's an idiot. So, all right, Glenn. Well, how about you? Got a good news topic for tonight?
I do, and it. What was that?
You never have a news topic.
No, I know, but I found this one. I read this one on BBC, and I thought I should talk about it. The real reason men grow beards.
Oh.
Hey,
Specifically for Ari, right?
Please
I'm
tell
allowed
me
to grow a
why.
beard.
I really want to know why.
Can we
Oh,
talk
so
about Dan's haircut after this?
Yes, we can delve right into that.
I don't know if he's listening tonight.
I'm excited for that.
They talked to a bunch of people, and there's been a ton of studies on beards and if women find them attractive. And basically, it turns out that it is an even split. Some women find beards attractive, some women don't, and it changes with the times and what's in style. So it has nothing to do with if women are into beards. We grow beards to compete with each other.
No shit.
Right?
It's
So
not
men
to get
grow
old.
beards.
Do you need money to study this?
Actually, a lot of people have spent like the entire career studying this.
There's cancer!
Yeah, it's not as interesting.
Yeah, so the entire thing, the entire reason men grow beards is to prove that we are more manly than other men.
Yes. Yeah,
It's
that's
the
the
thing
whole
that-
firearms industry right now.
I grew once so I wouldn't look like I was 12.
See,
The beard is the man equivalent of the
Adam is now manly. Mike and Andy are not as manly.
That's apparently what it means. And like they've done studies on men and women both find men with a beard more aggressive, more powerful, and more manly.
No.
So they've done tons of studies on this, and basically
Dumb.
we grow beards for other men.
So kind of when girls get dressed up to go out, it's not for the guys, it's to impress the other girls that are there.
Yep.
Absolutely the same thing.
Pretty much.
Bing,
I
bing.
So what
Not
did we learn? Neither
back
sex makes
out of-
sense.
out of style. I hate them. Hate them all.
Yeah. So I thought you liked that one, Ari, because you were talking about how beards are not attractive.
I
They're
got
not-
a beard.
There are very
I think beards
Oh
are
my
good.
God. I love
I
this
love
part.
beards. What's wrong with my beard?
I feel but the best part is every card goes with his face.
Yeah.
That's just perfect.
That's good. All right. Well, that's good.
I still hate them.
I got a real brief tech corner tonight. Not kind of half tech corner, half not. Just Engadget released an article that the FBI allegedly paid $1.3 million to unlock the iPhone for the San Bernardino.
Ooh.
Which basically the way they figured it out was they calculated it 1.3 million at a very minimum that it basically cost the Bureau to unlock the iPhone. Not that they paid that, but it cost the Bureau that. So
What happened was the director of the FBI said, it cost more than what I'm going to make in the next 7 years before I retire. So they figured, well,
Right.
they
Yeah, so they
calculated that.
based on that. Yeah, so basically what they're saying is that they're expected to keep using third-party firms to essentially crack into the phones. Going back to what Apple said, it probably was a big marketing ploy on their part, but good for them for releasing that, because I think it's a positive direction for that. So real brief on Tech Corner this week. If you guys have any questions about tech, shoot them my way or Andy's way, and we'll answer as many interesting tech questions as you can. Mike Carroll posted in to go on the beard thing. He said he grew a beard for 9 months once and he looked homeless. It's kind of how Dirty Dan looks right now.
I don't know. There are very few men that can carry a beard no matter what.
Mm.
Glenn is one of them.
Oh, you're just saying that because it's Glenn.
No, the brothers.
The brothers do a good job.
They do a very good job.
The end.
Yeah.
That's it.
I know you don't like it, but I don't hate Dirty Dan's beard.
Well,
He needs to trim it. It's not awful.
blasphemy.
Remember the one picture he had when he did it all? It was trimmed and
Yes, that looked nice.
when it was hipster Dirty Dan.
It looked nice. The mustache was a little much for me. I couldn't imagine making out with that. Like, as a girl, if you go and approach that and you're like, whew, okay, that's like Mount Everest. I gotta climb and like get in there and how do I? What?
So,
this way? This? Can we part this?
So basically, what you're saying is we are completely okay to ask girls to shave it all off when we're going down there.
Yeah. Wait. I'm not keeping that thing like 70s style.
Coming back.
Are you gonna use it as floss?
It's coming back.
What do you mean coming back? Like, are people talking about this? Like, it's a trend?
Yes.
Yeah.
What do you guys talk about at work?
Well, it's all over, like,
vagina.
From what I heard, from what I hear, it's all over YouPorn and RedTube. From what people tell me, I wouldn't know, but from what people tell me.
Yeah.
Leah, can we get links for that?
I'll put the links and gun channels to the various ones.
No, Dirty Dan's beard right now is straight awful. It's
a little out of control.
It looks like long pubes.
He's gonna be so upset. He
knows how I feel about it. I'm sorry.
You better give him a big hug.
Every time I get like I say something nice to him, he just like shuts down, turns around, walks away. Okay, fuck you too.
Andy, you got a news topic, or we're skipping that?
Because Glenn is a Marine, I just want to let him know that the Marines are fitting their M1 tanks with anti-missile technology.
Ooh.
Boom!
Is it the reactive armor stuff?
Yeah, the Trophy Active Protection System, I think it is, the Israelis have.
Can we get that for our World of Tanks clan?
It's really, really bad for infantry.
Yeah. Yeah, it is.
What it is, and because I talked to some tankers about this. It's plates of explosives on the outside of your tank.
That's for my car.
And what happens is when a missile comes close, your explosives go off and either blow the missile up or send it away.
Oh.
But if you're the infantry guy standing 20 yards away from the tank, you just got blown up by your own tank.
Yeah, because it happens automatically. The tankers don't do anything about it. Just
it's all computer controlled.
Yeah, it's like the automatic car driving. You have no control over it. So if a guy's next to you, you can't stop it.
Yeah, they have to remember to turn it off when they're working with infantry, which
you have to remember to turn it off.
Yeah.
So,
but they're also using drones though, which is cool.
That is cool.
They're sending up drones to see enemies with it. So each tank is going to have his own drone.
And the best thing about tanks, the absolute best thing about working with tanks, is they still have the little box on the back with the phone in it.
Really?
That's the best thing.
No, it's super fun to run up behind a tank and like pick up the phone and tell them what to do.
What I like to do, if you're ever near an M1,
phone on my backpack and you can run up to me.
No, it is. You have no idea how fun it is to run up to a tank and pick up like a 1950s phone and tell a tank what to do.
That's it.
All right, let's get into our everybody's favorite segment.
You know what really grinds my gears?
All right, what do you got for tonight, Erica?
You know what really grinds my gears?
Close talkers.
No.
What's
No.
What?
Why? We've all dealt with them.
Oh, I can't stand it.
We've all had to figure a way out of it. You have those people that you just don't talk to because they're instantly in.
The worst is
your
as you
face.
slowly move backwards till you hit a wall.
You hit a wall and then you're scrambling. You're trying to sidestep them. And why does every single one need a tic tac?
Yep.
Okay. Do you think I can't hear you? Do I need to read your lips or smell what you had for lunch? None of those things. I can hear just fine. Just fine. You don't need to be all up in my grill. I do not need to taste what you had for a snack. None of that. So please get out of my bubble. All right?
I'm vomiting.
Yeah. It's just
Yeah, I really don't like close talkers.
I don't know what it is though. I don't
Yeah.
get it. Like we have a dog that likes to smell like my eyeballs, which
Yeah.
is creepy enough because it's a dog. But like when like somebody's like, how do you not feel uncomfortable? Like you're rubbing body parts all over each other after a while, and you're trying to backpedal.
I don't like it.
They just keep getting closer. So, yeah, close talkers. Nope.
Yeah.
They're the worst. Shouldn't they that rotting tooth smell that some of them have?
Oh, gross. You can tell they're definitely going to have a heart attack because they're rotting from the inside.
Yummy.
What did you mean?
We're both
Scrolling through shit. You're not even paying attention to shit anymore.
I am. I went to go click,
You know what really grinds my gears?
and you made me click something else.
Oh, did you like something that you shouldn't have liked?
No.
You know what really grinds my gears?
What?
When Mike just scrolls through random shit during the show.
I do. I try to pick up things to talk about.
It's so much
Like
better when you guys are next to each other.
Like the Infinity that you were just looking at, it was a piece of shit. It's not even a good car.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Scrolling through stuff and just happened to be
scrolling
there.
through. Or the van shoes that somebody posted. Oh, that's a good one. What else?
What's your Stormtrooper ID? First 16 letters of your credit card, last 3 numbers on the back, month and day of expiration.
That's funny. Okay. Fair enough.
Isn't Infinity just a nice Toyota?
What?
Isn't an Infinity just a nice Toyota?
Nice Nissan.
Nissan.
Oh, there's such thing.
23 ridiculous things The Rock can do that you can't. Number 1.
Roll?
Lift the 75-pound weight over your head. Eat scrambled eggs and 6 massive chocolate chip and banana pancakes as a late-night snack.
I could do that.
Buy your mom a brand new car for Christmas.
Can't do that.
Pose next to a newly ripped Zac Efron and still make him look like a shrimp. Get a badass nickname from losing your virginity. Oh, I get it. I get it. I get it. Anyways.
Yeah.
So let's talk about what's coming up. We have the Stone Mountain machine gun shoot, which is what Adam is working on and everything. So that is not this weekend, but the weekend after this.
Yep.
End of the month. What's going on? What's everybody doing this weekend? We got any good plans?
I have to go to Hobby Lobby.
Okay.
Hobby Lobby.
Oh, it's like a nightmare.
I love
I am
it.
not a crafty person, and literally, I don't. It's what nightmares are made of.
Take Leah, she can help you. She speaks their ways.
Wait, why do you have to go to Hobby Lobby?
I have to make a headpiece. Ow, motherfucker!
You were scrolling.
It was.
Keep going.
I had to make a headpiece for the point dance. So
Oh my God.
Yeah.
That sounds so fun.
Yeah, no.
Take Leah on Saturday.
I want to make headpieces.
Yeah. The more the merrier. Julie's volunteered to come with me because she's also crafty. Like, I just hate it. Hate it. Hate it. I will literally just go through something and just be like, yeah, this, good, match this together, headpiece, done. I don't even know what it is. So, I will fruit.
You can reach Glenn and I on our ham radios this weekend.
Yes. We talked to an old man about his tomato plants today.
We did. We talked to a guy who was having tomato basil soup and grilled cheese.
That sounds yummy.
These guys are super interesting. Highlight of our day. If you're on World of Tanks,
podcast.
Glenn and I. What's that?
Did you tell them about your super interesting podcast?
I should have, but they were too old. It's hard to convey to them.
They were all gearing up for the Aries and race that was tonight.
Oh yeah, there's a ham fest Saturday too that they're all talking about.
Which
they're very excited.
Why wouldn't they have actual ham at the fest?
Ham fest is until the 28th.
Glenn, when I was trying to talk to you on the way home, I ended up on that Races channel.
I went there too.
Racist?
No, racist. The emergency system. Car sucks up all the radio because you have a little metal box.
My car does?
Yeah, you got to put an antenna on the roof of your BMW.
He wanted to put his registration sticker on it.
Jesus, Leah.
Sorry, Mike.
All right, so yeah, this weekend, cool stuff. Make sure you guys follow and get a hold of us with any questions or stuff you want to talk about on the next show. Follow Crash and Burn on Twitter at Crash and Burn TV. Follow all of us at Mike Centola, at Erica Centola, at Leah Knapp-Rapp, and at The Hipster Gunsmith, and at Andy Dickinson on the Instagrams. Good place to get a hold of us. Check out Adam's stuff on princelaw.com and check out the blog stuff. We posted a lot of it on the gun channel. So sign up to Spreaker and follow us on Spreaker. That's where all of our iTunes replays go. So thank you again to our sponsors, Broken Angel Gear, Fox Den Tactical, Clean Snatch Soap. Use code Crash and Burn for 15% off. Next week's show, we have Ian Strimbeck, a firearms trainer and a longtime friend of mine, coming on the show next week. And we will catch you all next week, and we really appreciate listening. Thanks, Adam, and we'll listen to y'all. See y'all next week.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
My jam.
You know what really grinds my gears?
Now he's mixing it.
You know what really grinds my gears? You know what really grinds my gears?